Going on? I hope everyone's had a good week so far. So this week I want to talk to you guys about authenticity, about being yourself. Now, for those who've been following me for a while, you know my favorite quote is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he says, "Don't go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." And if you're listening to that for the first time, then that's a quote that I really love to live by, that I remind myself of every single day. And this actually has been reinforced in my life every single day over the last few years since I've been on my journey. I think going back 2013, I think, or 2014, I think I came across it, and I was just hooked on that quote because it really resonated with me, because it meant that all those years ago, the poet Ralph was thinking about this in his own life. And he has another quote. Actually, he has loads of quotes, but one of the other ones is, "Man is what he thinks about all day long." And as I started to ponder and think about what I wanted to do, I've slowly come to a place in my life where everything that I have or that I'm doing intentionally. Is because I want to be in this position. Now, I'm not saying I am where I want to be in life. I'm still always striving to shape and mold and chip away at my life to make it look like what I want. But what I'm saying is, I've purposely made the choices I have in the job that I've got, in the podcast I'm pursuing, the guests that I speak to, the friends that I have, to actually keep them in my life and to bring them in my life. It was my decision. And the topic of authenticity came up when I met for dinner with Vex King earlier this week on Tuesday, I think it was. So Argentina was playing in the World Cup, and he was coming down, so I thought, let's meet up, let's go for a meal. And we started talking, and he's been online for some years now, and we were talking about how this whole journey is about doing what you want to do. And you will be judged along the way. People will say certain things about you to make you feel insecure. They will try and pick gaps. But what we were saying was, it's the gaps that they're picking out is not gaps in you, but gaps in them. They are showing their own insecurities to you because of what they're saying. So listen carefully to what they're saying. If someone is saying to you that, oh, he shouldn't be saying this, or he doesn't follow his own advice, or he shouldn't do what he's doing, that's only coming up because they feel a certain way about what you're doing. Maybe you're doing something that they wish they did and they didn't pursue. And then, you're reminding them every time they see you, you're reminding them of what they wish they could have done, or reminding them of what they should have done, and now they haven't, and they've allowed themselves to kill off their dreams. So that was one of the things that came up in this week's conversation, and it actually went on for about 4 or 5 hours, and we're talking about online presence as well. We're talking about when you're online, you get caught up in this social media hype of likes and numbers and how many comments you have and how many shares you have, and it becomes an egotistical thing. And the thing is, we all get caught up in it. I know I have, and I'm just like, what, only 100 likes, only 200 likes? But one thing that, my laptop's just died. Damn it, it's on 30% battery and it just dies, the MacBook. Okay, I'm gonna keep talking, but I'm gonna go and get the charger at the same time and just plug it in because it's dead. It dies at 30%. I think there's something wrong with the battery. I need to go and change it. But anyway, so we get caught up in this hype of, thinking about the likes and the shares that we have and how many... Where's the charger gone? Oh, it's on that side. And we allow ourselves to... Give me a second. Yeah, we allow ourselves to get lost in this world of numbers, and we then forget the message that we're trying to share in the first place. Like, what's the point? If the message you're trying to share gets lost because of the fact that you're chasing numbers, your message isn't going to come out as pure as you initially wanted it to. Because now you're going to be making content, or you're going to be acting in a way that is just numbers orientated. And it's just going to be about yourself and yourself and yourself. And then people will start to see through that. And actually, you're going to move more and more away from being yourself and being fake. And then you'll feel this imposter-like feeling that I'm not actually where I want to be. Like, I'm in conflict. I'm impressing others, but I'm not doing what I want. I'm actually doing it to get attention. And then you need to ask yourself why. So when me and Vex were talking, we were talking about some people online who are just really, really fake in person or behind the scenes when they're off air, and how they're not authentic with their message. So, you know, just be you. Just be you, because there's two other things that I heard this week, and it was a Larry King interview where he was being interviewed actually, and he said that the best advice that he received was be yourself. As simple as that sounds, he's made a success out of himself by being himself. He's a legend. He's been in the Hall of Fame. He's won Emmys. He's won a Lifetime Achievement Award, and he's got that from just being himself, being very, very curious and asking questions. That's what he's good at. Russell Peters, the famous comedian, I was listening to him and he was talking about this hype of social media nowadays. Like when he started comedy in the I think it was the late 80s, 90s, he's been doing comedy for 25 years. And he was saying it's silly, all these numbers, because his Twitter and his Instagram combined have less than 1 million followers. Actually, this was a few years ago, I'm not sure now, but this is what he was saying. And he was saying, I don't give a fuck about that. I make $21 million a year. Who cares about how many followers I have? So the point is, he's doing what he needs to do, being a comic, making people laugh, sharing his wisdom of what's happening along his journey, and he's making money from it. People are willing to pay. So who cares about the social presence? Now, I actually had someone else on the interview, on the podcast, sorry, Peter Bone, who runs the page Achieve the Impossible, and he was saying to me, look, even if you have 100 followers, imagine 100 people in your room. That's a lot of people. So if they are willing to listen to you, those 100 people pack out your house and they're willing to listen to you, then that should be enough for you to feel like, you know, there is people out there listening to my message. So just be yourself, because eventually you will come to a place in your life where you realize that no one else's opinion really matters. It honestly doesn't, because in the end, you die alone. Now, I'm not trying to sound morbid or sad or, you know, upset. I talked about mortality in the last episode, but what I'm saying is, in the end, it's only going to be you that has to leave. You're going to leave all the material possessions. You're going to leave your message behind. You're going to leave everything behind. And no one's going to be coming with you, you know? So it's at that point you realize, actually, none of this mattered. I wish I'd lived a life that was just me, that was authentic. Why was I hiding? Don't hide. Just be yourself, because eventually the people that need to find you will find you. Now, I like to say we have two families in this world. One that we're born into, and one we have to go out and find. Now, the one that we have to go out and find are our tribe supporters, the people that are like-minded, the people that are in the same frame of mind and chasing the same mission as us in this world, or a similar mission. But the way we attract them isn't being needy and looking for love. It's just being ourselves and allowing them to come to us because of the content, because of the conversation, because of our vibration. And when we start to move into that place, that's when we'll start to see some greatness in our life. That's when we'll start to see some synchronicity and some peace, and eventually some happiness.